الحمد لله الذي جعل ذكره طمأنينة للقلوب وجلاء لها عن رين الذنوب ومطردة لوسواس الخناس المكذوب، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد الداعي إلى كل فعل محبوب وأمر مطلوب، وعلى آله وأصحابه المقتفين سبيله على خير أسلوب. أما بعد، فيقول رب تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المنزل: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون. صدق الله العظيم. O mankind, an instruction has come to you, and the healing for that which is in your heart, and the guidance and the mercy for the believers. And say, with the bounty of Allah and with the mercy of Allah, let them rejoice, for that is better than what you accumulate and gather in the world. Continuing from where we were left off last week, where I called your attention to the fact of similarity between the seasons for the nourishment we receive for our bodies and the season for the nourishment we receive for our akhirah. The nourishment for our souls also comes both continuously and in seasons, just as the nourishment for our bodies come continuously and also in seasons. And so it is with seasons. When we are preparing for the harvest, when we are preparing for the new season, the season of flourish, the season of bounty, we tend to clean out. We tend to have what we in this country refer to as spring cleaning. We all know about this. There's a clean out that happens. And it seems that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling us to a similar sense of cleaning, a similar sense of preparation for the harvest, the coming month of Ramadan and the bounties therein, and to receive them. The cleaning for that season is focused on the heart, the cleaning of the heart, as part of the preparation for Ramadan. The preparation of cleaning for the heart. And this is indicative in the hadith I read to you last week, which Allah is saying that I will give forgiveness. He looks at all His creation and He will forgive them all, but except two categories, and the category of the one who doesn't have ikhlas, or the one who ascribes partners to Him, which is in essence a problem in the heart. And then the other, al-mushahin, al-mushrik wal-mushahin. Al-mushahin is the one who carries ill will and disease in the heart. So the focus on the heart is called to attention 15 days before Ramadan, because this happens on the 15th night of Shaban, in the month in which we are. So the attention is called towards that, towards focusing on the heart. And why? And the answer to this is obvious. That in order to benefit from the harvest of Ramadan, one needs to have a cleansing, a sweeping of the heart to check. The problem is that we all assume that we have sound heart. If you ask a person, do you have a clean heart? They will say, yes, I have a clean heart. But if we were to be sincere to ourselves, truthful to ourselves, and ask ourselves, what happens when we see others get more worldly goods, get things better than us? Do we feel a pain in our heart? That's a sign of a disease. Do we spend most of our time looking at the faults of others and looking for contradictions in what people say and looking for faults? That is a sign of a disease in the heart. Everything you engage in causes a debris of disease in the heart. All your decisions, all your things, everything you engage with that comes into the eye and goes into the ears ends up in the heart. Now, if we do not acknowledge that there is a problem in the heart, that's greater a problem than having the disease and trying to fix it. So first we have to acknowledge, recognize that, yes, I might have problems in the heart. Look at the way you feel envy, you feel hasad, you feel grudge towards somebody. Does it affect my heart? Is my heart affected by the fact that, my neighbors have better cars than I do? Do I wish them not to have it? That is the definition of hasad. Someone else having more than you, someone else being better than you, seeing people as lower than you, despite the fact that if Allah were to reveal your sins to the world, then you will be disgraced. And yet, we are not obsessed, we are not thinking about our own sins, the heart pushes, the heart with disease, look for faults and for things of inconsistency and problems in other people's lives and not our own. This is not what a clean heart is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the ultimate criterion for success on the Day of Judgment with someone who will show up يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. That day when children and wealth will not benefit you, but the one who comes with a sound heart, a clean heart, the cleansing of the heart. So to come back to this analogy of cleansing and sweeping and spring cleaning for the harvest, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used a word that is indicative of this meaning. A Sahaba asked him once that, Man afdalun nas, who are the best of people? And he says, Makhmumul qalbi wa saduqul lisan. That a well-swept heart, and he used the word makhmum, with khamamtul bayt means I swept the house. He used the word swept, to cleansing. The Sahaba said, now that we know saduqul lisan, we know the truthful tongue, but what is makhmum al-qalb? What is the thing about makhmum al-qalb? And he explained, he said that makhmum al-qalb are 6 things. Al-qalb al-naqi al-taqi, la ithma fi. That the qalb, the heart that is pure, the heart that is conscious of Allah, that has taqwa, the heart that doesn't have the debris of sin in it. وَلَا بَغْيَ وَلَا غِلَّ وَلَا حَسَدَ. And no oppression in the heart, no baghya, no dhulm, no hatred in the heart, and no hasad, no envy in the heart. Now, these are the things that have to be swept out of the heart if we are to be cleansed before the coming of Ramadan. Because when Ramadan comes and we are fasting, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ أَجْسَامِكُمْ وَإِلَىٰ صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ. Allah is not looking at your bodies and at your countenance, He's looking at your heart. And in Ramadan, it's all about heart. In Ramadan, it's all about heart. Allah is looking at your heart, why you're doing it. If you do not fast, if you do not avoid the things that you should do, if your heart, if we are not monitoring, if we are not vigilant about the thoughts that flow into our hearts, then we will have problems with the quality of our ibadah. And this is why we find in Ramadan the hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reminding us that, look, if you wake up, man asbaha ahadukum, if a person wakes up and he is fasting, then فَلَا يَرْفَصْ وَلَا يَجْهَلْ فَإِذَا شَاتَمَهُ وَقَاتَلَهُ أَحَدٌ فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ. That if a person is fasting, he wakes up in the day, when you fast, then you are not to indulge in any fracas, any fighting, any quarrel with people. And if someone then quarrels, if someone curses you, the response is for you to say, Inni sa'im, say it twice. Say that I am fasting. Now, a person who is angry enough to curse you will not pay attention to your sentence. This sentence is primarily focused on reminding you, the person who is fasting, that I am fasting. So that you will not get engaged, you will not be spurred into engaging with these things. The control of your heart against others. To see, the Sahaba used to be constantly checking their hearts. What is going on in my heart? And how to work it, and how to cleanse their hearts. There was a famous alim, a scholar, tabi'een, Sufyan al-Thawri, who was a great muhaddis. And he had his own madhab. We know about the 4 madhabs. He had his own madhab. But but it died out, this madhab. But he was a great scholar, the pinnacle of his time. And he said that حُرِمْتُ قِيَامَ اللَّيْلِ خَمْسَةَ أَشْهُرٍ, that I was denied praying Salat al-Qiyam, Qiyam al-Layl, Salat al-Tahajjud for 5 months, لِذَنْبٍ أَذْنَبْتُهُ, for one sin I committed. And that sin was a sin of the heart. He himself said this, that I committed a sin in my heart. And that sin was that I saw a person in the masjid crying, and in my heart I said that this person is showing off. He's doing a riyah. For that sin, Allah denied me of being able to stand in salat tahajjud for 5 months. This is vigilance for the thoughts that flow in your heart. We are to be vigilant of how we think about people, what we think about others. And those, because these are when the heart is clear with people, then that will lead to a life that focuses on your own actions, focuses on your own sins and your relationship with Allah, and not be obsessed when you lie at night and think, oh, this person did this to me and that person did this to me and I hate this person and I should do this to that one. That is all wiswa. That is all the things that the disease in the heart, the deadly debris of disease in the heart that destroys a person's ability to focus on developing and getting closer to Allah. I end with a very beautiful story. The Sahaba used to be very, very keen on finding techniques, finding methods to get closer and to be successful in the akhirah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to teach them directly, and sometimes he used to teach them indirectly. And in one story, once he was sitting with them and he said, instead of telling them what is the path to Jannah, he said, يَطَّلِعُ عَلَيْكُمْ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ, that a person of Jannah is about to enter into this gathering. And after a short while, a man came in who they all knew, a normal Muslim of the Ansari Muslim, wiping his beard. He was just made wudu and he had his shoe in his left hand, and a simple man. And they all were surprised. This man? We don't even know who he is. No one cares about him. He's just a normal person. And then the second day, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the same thing. يَطَّلِعُ عَلَيْكُمْ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ, and a person from Jannah is about to show up. And then he comes in and he sits down, and they're all thinking. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam knew that the Sahaba will then seek to find out. He didn't tell them what the secret was, but he knew that if he says this, then they will go in search. He had created enough thirst in their heart for success in the akhirah. He knew what they would do. So he said, the third day he also said the same thing. And then Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Amr, the son of Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Amr went to the man and made some excuse when he left to his house and said, look, can I stay with you for 3 days, please? I have some problems with my family and something. Made up an excuse so that he can stay. So he can see what this man does at night. What is his life like at night that makes him so successful that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is giving shahada, is giving witness that this man is a man of Jannah. For 3 consecutive days, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying this. And then he spent the first night, and the man prayed salah, went to bed. And then during the night he turned, and while he was turning, he did some dhikr and got up for fajr, but nothing special. The second night, the same thing happened. The third night, the same thing happened. So then Abdullah ibn Amr says to the man on the third day that, look, the real reason I came is because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you are a person of Jannah, and I wanted to find out. I wanted to find the secrets of your success. I wanted to see what you do. Maybe you have some special amal, some special ibadah that you do at night that makes this. And the man said, there's nothing غير ما ترى, that is nothing more than what you see. I do. So he turned away, and as he was leaving, the man called him back and said, oh yeah, there's one thing I do at night. There's just one thing. And that thing, غير أني لا أجد غلا في نفسي, that I do not find any bad thoughts in my heart. When I go to sleep at night, I do not find any bad thought in my heart for anyone. I clear my heart for every believer, every Muslim. I do not have one bad thought about anyone, wala hasada, and no envy for anyone. I'm happy with what Allah has given me. I'm satisfied with what Allah has given me, and I'm grateful to Allah, and I do not measure myself on the basis of others. I measure myself on the basis of my own sin, on the basis of what Allah is saying me, on the basis of Allah's view of me, and not about the world's view of me, but I measure myself. La hasada wa la khilla. That's all I do. And then Abdullah ibn Umar said, this is the thing that's bred you there. وَهَذَا الَّذِي لَا نُطِيقُ. And this is the one, it's easy said, but it's hard to do. It takes effort. So with Ramadan, the coming of Ramadan is for one to prepare the heart. It's not only samosa and pakora and dates. It is preparation for the heart. We have to have the cleaning of the heart so that when Ramadan comes, we will receive the bounties and the guidance that Allah has sent in a way that will benefit our hearts and benefit our akhirah and lift us so that our year after Ramadan will be a year better than, and this calls for vigilance in the thoughts that flow in our hearts. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Remember, the ultimate criterion for success is the one who will not be benefited from what you accumulate in this world, like the verse I read to you earlier. It's not the things you accumulate in this world, but it is the soundness of your heart that one has to care for. Remember that Allah looks at your heart and He will judge you according to the machinations of your heart, according to what you think and do in regard to others and in regard to your own criterion of success. وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, pray your sunnah.